I feel fortunate that over time I've built up quite a good array of art materials. I have quite a lot of choice when it comes to colour pencil drawings. But I want to talk today about the art supplies that I genuinely couldn't live without. So let's get straight into the first material that I feel I couldn't live without. I'm talking about Bristol Board. Generally speaking, when drawing, I think that paper is much more important than pencils. I've said this quite a lot. And Bristol Board is always my go-to paper for drawing with colour pencils. When I was new to drawing, I tried a lot of different papers, and it's Bristol Board that I find to be generally good in all situations. I mostly like it because it's very, very smooth. I find it really easy to control the pencil, but also I feel like I can build up a lot of layers on it. Now, I can't stress enough how important the right paper is. It's literally not possible to make drawings like this without the right paper. So let's go on to my second most important art material. This time I am going to talk about pencils. I don't feel I can get too far down the list without covering pencils. And although I own a lot of brands of pencils, to be honest, it is my polychromos that I really depend on. They are my absolute favourite pencils. Now, there are quite a few reasons why polychromos are my favourite, but let's start with the most obvious reason. They are an oil-based pencil. So because they're oil-based, the lead is quite a bit firmer, which means that generally speaking, I don't need to sharpen it as often. I find that some of the wax-based pencils, so like Prismacolor for example, I do have to sharpen them quite often. By sharpening less often, it means that I can draw detail, draw texture much easier because I'm not constantly sharpening. And most of what I choose to draw does involve texture or detail. I also really like them because there's a really good variety of browns, which you probably wouldn't think would be the most exciting colours to think about. I use browns more than anything else. Again, because I draw a lot of nature or portraits, I'm just constantly using browns. I do find that some of my other sets just don't have the choice that the polychromos do, and having that choice just makes my life easier. Now, polychromos are the pencils that I would choose, but to be honest, I don't know that I would necessarily say that I need a full set of 60, for example. If I really think about it, I use the same pencils over and over again. I reckon I have maybe 15 to 20 pencils that I actually use constantly, and then I'll occasionally use some of the others. So I reckon I could quite happily draw with just those 15. Now, next up, I wouldn't want to be without my Swordfish pencil sharpener. Now, I can't draw without some kind of a pencil sharpener because I can't draw without sharp pencils. If you give me a blunt pencil, I literally can't control where it goes. And although cheaper pencil sharpeners are fine, I just don't find them as good as this. And there's a couple of reasons for this. First off, I do find that it makes the pencils really consistently sharp. Sometimes with some of the cheaper pencil sharpeners, they do snap while sharpening them, and that has never happened to me with the Swordfish. It's never any effort to sharpen pencils with the Swordfish. It kind of just nicely glides. And if it doesn't, it means that the blade is blunt. Which is another reason I really like the Swordfish. You can change the blade. So again, it gives me that consistency, but I don't have to spend a fortune changing the sharpener. Now, thinking about the next thing I couldn't live without brings me on to thinking about how much I draw. So I want to be in a situation where I can comfortably draw for hours on end. I don't want to at any point get an achy hand. And the main thing that could potentially lead to my hand hurting will be if I need to hold my pencil in a less than natural way. And that would happen if my pencil's too short. So I couldn't live without a pencil extender, and that will make my pencil always comfortable to hold. Now, to show you a little bit better what I mean, this pencil here is a pretty much brand new pencil. This is the full length. By the time that I've sharpened my pencil and it gets to about this kind of length, this is where it begins to get uncomfortable to hold for me. And that's partly because I frequently hold my pencil further back. I have to use more of the muscles to hold it straight. I haven't got this part of my hand to lean on. By the time that it's getting to this sort of length, it gets very uncomfortable for me, to the point that I would probably not want to carry on drawing with this pencil. So if I didn't have a pencil extender, to be honest, I would probably need to bin the pencils at about this kind of length, which is kind of only only halfway through. If I use a pencil extender, I can get my pencils down to more like this size, which I could still probably get them a bit shorter than that if I wanted to, but I have to take them out of the extender to sharpen them at this point, and I don't tend to do that. So having the pencil extender saves my hand and stops me from wasting the pencils. So let's talk about the final thing that I feel I couldn't live without. And this isn't so much a supply. I'm talking about the website Pixabay, or other websites like it, but Pixabay is my favorite. Now, those of you who know me know that if I can't see what I'm drawing, I can't draw. I very much need a reference photo. I have literally no imagination. You can download royalty-free photos from Pixabay. So if I wanted to draw something and then sell it, Pixabay are the images I could use to do that. Obviously, I could get images from just off of Google, but I do want the freedom to be able to do what I would like with my drawing at the end. I also find that it offers a variety of really good quality, consistently good quality photos. I spend more time than I should scrolling through it of an evening. Now, there are loads of other tools as well that, although I could live without, they do make my life easier. To name a few, I'm thinking about Zest-It, pencil blender, embossing tools, maybe some craft knives, and a jelly roll pen. They do definitely make my life easier, but I don't need them. They won't necessarily improve my art, but they do make a lot of things easier. If you would like tips on how to quickly improve your colour pencil drawings, check out this video here. Happy drawing, guys. I'll see you in the next one.